Hi, I'm here with Technoblade's dad, and well, I guess we'll start with how we got together because I feel like it's kind of a surprise, shocking thing, randomly, especially as my kind of first live thing, I guess. Your first live thing too, probably.
Yes.
Okay. Well, obviously, ever since Techno's passing, we've been talking and communicating about how we can do the best and raise the most money that we can for the Sarcoma Foundation. You wanted me up here before I had done the face reveal, and I was like, oh, I'm face revealing really soon, and then obviously I'll be in California and we can do something then. And so for San Diego, obviously, was traveling and was going to be in the area, and kindly offered me a place to stay.
Yep.
In his home. And here we are. It was very,
Here we are.
you know, let's raise money and do as much as you can. So there is, just start off the bat, there is a donate button that you can see.
Yes.
There's a donate button. It should be on the right side of your screen, down low, and it'll say donate, and everything goes to the Sarcoma Foundation to fight against cancer and to support cancer research. And yeah, and you can also buy the merch right now. We're rocking it. So you can buy Technoblade merch, and the proceeds go towards cancer research and towards Techno's family.
I have to be scrupulous about this. Oh, yes. No, you said it right. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Proceed.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so kind of...
We can cut that out in the edit, right?
Yeah, guys, cut that out. So, yeah, I mean, here we are. We're here together, and we just thought we would, we were sitting around the couch last night, just talking, telling stories and talking about techno and memories and everything, and we thought, why don't we do that in a way that can raise awareness and raise money? And so that's what we're doing.
Awesome. So
you better raise as much money as you can. Look, this is my first live appearance, okay? This is my first live on my channel video. It's his first live as well. Like, the money better be rolling in. It better be rolling in.
Yeah. You guys.
Yeah.
Don't make me come over there.
This is weird.
This is weird, but also awesome. So one of the things that came up yesterday, or actually I should back up a little bit, because I never expected to meet any of the big names in Minecraft YouTube, but in the last few weeks I've met you, and before that I got to meet Skeppy. And living in the same house with Technoblade, I heard the name Skeppy a lot. He was someone I was, always hearing about. And the Sarcoma Foundation Gala was a few weeks ago in New York, and the Sarcoma Foundation was presenting an award to Technoblade, the Courage Award. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. This is not a problem for me.
You got this?
Yeah. So there we were at the Sarcoma Foundation Gala, and there was Skeppy presenting the award, and I was getting, and then ahead of that, I wrote to Skeppy and I asked him, I said, is there a particular video of you two guys together, is there a particular moment that you particularly like, or that particularly resonates for you? And he sent me a link to the video. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. There's a version of it on Technoblade's channel, and then there's the same video, the same event on Skeppy's channel. And on Technoblade's channel, it's called Skeppy Tries to Troll Me, but I Troll Him First. And on Skeppy's channel, it's called, what was it again?
Skeppy's Dungeon, I think, or something along those lines. Like that.
So the question came up because that event had required somebody to write a parkour plugin for Minecraft and so forth and so on. And I asked you, so first of all, when I told you that was the video that Skeppy
I didn't believe, I was like,
identified,
wow, that's so weird. But
yeah. So the question came up of where did that parkour plugin come from? And the answer shocked me. Where
he's like, where did that plugin come from? I was like,
Where
I coded that plugin. I was like, yeah, before I actually was Dream, I was a coder for Minecraft, like just plugins and servers, and I coded for Skeppy, and that was one of the videos that I worked on, that map. And I started telling him, I was like, I uploaded one of my first, it's gone now, but one of my first videos I ever uploaded was that parkour, but with George. Obviously, like on my channel, George, like my best friend. So I was like, oh, Skeppy and Techno did it, and then I did it with George. And I just thought it was just like the biggest coincidence that Skeppy said that you asked me about it and bring it up in the first place, and that was kind of just like a connecting. Because that was before, like, I mean, I knew of Techno, obviously, and I consider myself a fan of Techno at that moment, but I was not friends with him at that moment. We hadn't met, we hadn't talked. So it was like, I guess probably one of our first links together. Yeah, I guess I feel like just such a cool coincidence, and I guess it just shows how connected everything is and everybody is, and how small it is. Such as at the time, I was just coding a dumb Minecraft plugin, and then that ended up having a impact on like us, I guess.
Yeah. And there was that moment, there's like a little crack in the sides of the castle, and he tossed an ender pearl through there and escaped out onto the plane.
I didn't bug test it that well. It didn't, clearly not. So.
And Skeppy's chasing him and throwing all kinds of things at him, and it was chaotic and hysterical, and everybody's screaming. And so that, I was saying earlier today, so something that I've been dealing with a lot of in the last few months is grief, and I've never had to deal with it to quite this degree before. I've never had. Well, anyway, it's been quite a few months, and watching, so many feelings. People ask me all the time how I'm doing, and the thing I found my way to say that seems to really capture it in just a few words is that every day has laughter and every day has tears. And the thing I was telling you last night is that I find that there's this, there's a pull, or there's a reflex kind of, where the grief wants to be the only thing that's happening. Yeah. And we went through, I was there for his whole life. I was there literally from day one, and literally there for the last day. And what I find my memories doing is going over the last week of his life again and again and again. And the last week of his life was mostly painful. Like, not physically painful, it was emotionally painful. And so I don't want to let that happen. I don't want to let that be, I don't want to let the last week of his life be the thing that cements itself in my head. And so I've been intentionally wanting to pull up memories of his whole life, wanting to pull up stories from when he was a little tiny kid, and I thought I'm going to tell a story about.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. You know what I'm saying.
We have an audience.
We have yes. Thank you all, and thank you everybody out there
for donating, and pressing the donate button.
Yes,
and for just being here.
Cancer, I had this idea that cancer gets like a ton of funding, but it really doesn't. Compared to how many people it takes from us, cancer doesn't get as much funding as you might think. in the U.S. it's the #2 killer, and it's you know, it not only does it take our parents, but it takes our kids sometimes, and
And our
God
friends.
bless, and our friends, and anyone. And God bless all the doctors and PhDs who are out there and working on this stuff. And I got to meet some of them at the Sarcoma Foundation event. But just to cap that off, the thing that I want to do for myself, and that hopefully I can do today and also in maybe some future events, is talk about the whole person, not just Technoblade has cancer, but Technoblade, who he was before he was Technoblade, and when he was that picture of us on Space Mountain that I showed you, when he was 12. There was so much joy in his life and so much happiness. And you know, his life was a speed run. And I'm, holy cow, am I grateful to have been and to still be his dad. So there you are.
I think that it's hard to, I feel like it's hard to process everything and put, you know, what you want to say into words, because you were just saying there that, you know, you lived such a happy life and had a lot of happy things. You were telling me that, you know, you took it a lot harder than like he did coming towards the end. And that just shows, you know, how much joy, I guess, he brings to other people and to himself. And
yeah, so in the spirit of the joy and the ridiculousness, I'm gonna tell a story.
okay,
The one that just popped into my head a minute ago.
okay,
This is a story from when he was 2 years old, I want to say, and so I had Alex, and then I had another child not too long after that. So there was a period of time where I had 2 kids in diapers. One was Technoblade to be, and then his younger sibling, and she was just getting to that point. Kids, you know, kids 1 month, 2 month, 3 months old, it's great because you set them down anywhere because you need to go to the bathroom or something, and they just stay right where you put them. When they get a little bit past that, that's when they're dangerous, the second quarter of their life. Now they can move around, and they work so hard to kill themselves during that period. And so there was this time where the kid's mom, my first wife, had the flu or something, and she was just laid up in bed. And so all the childcare fell to me, and we had a staircase in the place where we lived at that time, and Techno's sibling was just getting to the point where she thought like going up and down the stairs was the most exciting and fun thing. She wasn't very good at it, and so I would let her do it, but only if I was like one stair down below.
yeah,
So this thing happened where, you know, you've only got one adult and 2 kids, and they're all running around, and it happened that she was on the stairs, and I don't remember whether she was going up or going down, but she was like on the 2nd or 3rd stair from the bottom. And I'm gonna make you move your chair back because this story requires a demonstration.
oh
believe it
God,
or not.
let me stand it up.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can-
the mic.
You can move out of frame briefly.
Okay.
So here I am. So she fell down 2 stairs, and you hear this like thump, 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 reverberating all through the house. And then the thing I hear right after that is my wife going, "What was that?" And so I pick up my girl and I go in there and I'm trying to minimize the significance of what happened, you know? It's like, oh, you know, she was almost at the bottom of the stairs, she was doing just fine, and whatever. And so I'm trying to explain this, and Alex walks in the room and he says, "Baby, fall down, crash!"
I should have moved the chair farther.
Boom! So, busted. This is weird doing this without a live audience, because...
Yeah, no, I know. See, yeah. Well,
you guys don't count. No, sorry.
you get me laughing in the background, and that's just
I saw I was getting a smile out of you.
Yeah.
Baby fall down, crash.
Yeah, so all the chat right now is saying "Lamau, LOL." So don't worry. And they're also donating to the Sarcoma Foundation by clicking the donate button that's on the right side of your screen down there for cancer research and for Technoblade. Now that I'm done pressuring them.
Very good. Let's talk about Minecraft Monday.
Minecraft Monday. That's kind of, I feel like for me and my actual like connection to techno, that's when it actually kind of first started, I guess. I told you this last night, but the first message I ever sent to Technoblade, any interaction I ever had with him, was me trying to like Trojan horse my way into Minecraft Monday to team with Techno. So it was like they were first adding people and you had to have a certain amount of viewers, and I didn't meet it because I only had, I didn't have many subscribers at the time. And so I like asked Skeppy, I was like, can you get me in contact with Technoblade? He's like, why? And I was like, I'm gonna message him on Minecraft Monday. And so he did. And so I messaged him and I was like, man, they don't know how good I am. Like, I'm pretty good. If you get me in, we'll win. Like, we'll dominate because you're so good. You know, whatever. And I think his reply was like, maybe next time or something. It's like, okay, well, all right, probably not going to happen next time, you know. I got in the next event and I sucked. So it was not great. Techno kicked my ass in that event, so kicked my butt. And I remember I told you this as well, but I was having a conversation with Sapnap about Techno, but like around that time, and I was like, man, Techno is so good. And Sapnap at the time was like, oh, he's not that good. He's overhyped, you know, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, he is. Like he's one of the best Minecraft players. And then I posted these texts online at one point, but then like he watched the next Minecraft Monday. And in the next Minecraft Monday, Techno just like destroyed the event and was going ham. I just get a text from him and it says, damn, Techno is really good. You're right. He'd kick my butt. And I was like, yeah, I was telling you, man. I don't know what you're trying to say. But it's kind of funny. But that was the first time I ever messaged him, was to try and finagle my way into Minecraft Monday.
Yeah, he was crazy good at video games. And I guess everybody knows that probably better than I do. But so I've played a fair amount of video games, but I have stayed away from Minecraft because I didn't want to be like the parent who gets heavily involved in everything the child gets into. So I stayed away from Minecraft, just, you know, I mean, I just would have annoyed him, I think, if I'd have been in there. But anyway, so at some point he was having a lot of success playing Minecraft, and so I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit over his shoulder, I'm going to watch him play and stuff. And so he'd be fighting somebody, and to my relatively untrained eye, you know, at first you sit down and you look at Minecraft and it's like, I don't even, what is going on? Because there's like 10 pages of text up on the screen, and everything is like, looks like the resolution is like 64 by 64 or something. And so it was difficult for me to visually process, but I start figuring out what's going on. Okay, the hearts that's your hit points and so forth. And then I'm watching him 1v1 some guy, and it's like, huh. And then he 1v1s the next guy, and it's like, huh. And then the next guy, and it's like, well, he's still got 10 hearts, and 3 guys are dead. And eventually I asked him, I was like, Alex, do they know you're there? Are you invisible? Is there something happening that I'm not aware of? Because I could totally believe that he was consistently winning, because I'd seen how he was, in all the games that he'd played up to that time. I guess I'll just mention Team Fortress 2. He and I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 together when he was younger, and I said that thing I used to see over and over again. We'd play TF2, and he would be like MVP, and like his score was twice what the other team's score all summed together was. And I was like, wow. And he would be like, oh, I did so bad. I'm so disappointed in myself. That wasn't his phrasing, but that was the message. Like, well, yeah, okay. No, he set very high standards for himself.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fairly similar in that regard. That's what I said the other day. But I feel like that's one of the things that probably made him as good as he was, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that can contribute, because then you're just constantly being like, well, yeah, I know I did good, but I didn't do the best. Like, I want to be like the best at whatever. He's like, regardless if it's farming potatoes or it's actually like killing 10 people in a row, and it's like, yeah, I want to be the best at that. Whatever I'm doing, I want to be the best at. I think that's something that me and Techno, I feel like we're easily able to kind of bond over in that regard, and that kind of brought us together, obviously, as like rivals and against each other, and I guess going into like the Mr. Beast duel, and which I guess we'll talk about. The duel. Which
the duel.
I took a massive L there. Look, there's get your screenshots in. That was. I feel like the duel was a crazy moment. It was, at the time, it felt like it was like the biggest thing ever, and it was for both of us, and of course, Mr. Beast was involved. Mr. Beast is the biggest thing ever, so
yes,
made it feel like the biggest thing ever. Obviously, you've told me stories about from like his perspective and from my perspective, and I actually have text that I want to show you that you haven't seen, that I will show you after a little more into the conversation. I think I told you, but I was like, I felt it was like up in the air whether the duel was going to happen, and Techno was less like excited about it than I was, but it was because I was kind of new. I was like the new kid on the block, and Techno had been around, and so I had more to gain, because I was like, I want to prove myself against Technoblade, because it's Technoblade. He's like the greatest in Minecraft, and so I was like, all right, what if we split the money, because it was like $100K, the prize that was put up, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, he can't say no to splitting the money, come on. And then I remember when he agreed, I was like, okay, but did he agree just because it kind of pressured him into that by being like, let's split the money, but at the same time he's getting like $50,000, you can't really complain. But you were saying how he was.
Yeah, all through his career, I don't know that I ever saw him stress about anything except the duel. The duel stressed him out, leading up to it.
Yeah. I'm sure he was ecstatic after it. I mean, you had to clarify. I don't think you needed that clarification, but.
Yeah, he was, well, because you mentioned that it was questionable whether it was going to happen for a while. And one of the things that was going on was I don't know what it was about it, but that whole situation really, really stressed him out. And he was like, Dad, I don't know what, I mean, and he would like lay out these nightmare scenarios that I have to say didn't seem too realistic, but he was really worried about it. And I kind of told him, I said, all the bad things that you're imagining might happen are all more likely if you turn it down. I mean, because like let's say you do the fight and then you lose to Dream. It's like, okay, well, you lost to Dream, so it's like you're shorter than the tallest man in the world or something. I mean, that's not a career ender by any means.
That's how I felt going into it as well. I was like, yeah, but if I lose, that's why I went in not as nervous as him, because I think I had if I lose, I'm losing to Technoblade. and of course, like obviously I was able to earn more of a reputation over back then. I still had one, but it was not as big as it is now or was later on. And so I think he was, again, it was kind of the new kid on the block, and Techno had been around and had proven himself as, you know, for in many different ways. And so it's kind of, I think he had more reason to be nervous about what people would like think about it, I guess. And then of course he ended up beating me. So, but
well, I think I have to disagree on one small point, which is as far as like your relative rep at the time, because I very specifically remember that period, and I was, you know, I did a certain amount of Googling and checking around to see who's what and so forth. And my feeling at the time was like, who is this green smiley face guy who's gaining subscribers faster than my boy? You know,
you got defensive over it?
Well,
how do I take him out? Where does he live?
Competitive. I felt a little competitive on Techno's behalf, but yeah, I mean, it was like, what a thrill ride too. Oh my Lord.
Oh, it was. The whole entire fight was a back and forth. And
oh, wow.
Came down to the final round.
The final round and the fishing rod and the everything.
He told me that he texted you as soon as he like solidified the tie. He texted you like, I can't lose. It's only a win or a tie now.
Yeah, I was in the, so you know okay, well, nobody's going to understand this except you, but he was in his office and I was just in the TV room. I was like right nearby as that was happening, and I'm sitting there.
Oh yeah. I was getting texts from like my friends. They're like, "Is it over? Did you win?" As I'm like in my bed, face down on the pillow. I was like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
But I did. I left my phone. Could one of you get me my phone? It's in the conference room. Oh, yeah. One of them. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna.
You guys have probably seen it. I posted them on Twitter before, but my dad texted me after the fight was over, and I think that you'll find it heartwarming, I guess. But yeah, I was pretty I feel like after the duel happened, I was pretty distraught because I think it was because I didn't go in with the nervousness that he had. So it was more, I went in with like a kind of like a confidence, like, oh, I totally got this, like with an ego. I went in with an ego, for sure. And so, I'll show you. But anyway, I was very upset. I was very upset afterwards. And my dad texted me this. They're on. I'll post them or something. I've posted them before for you guys, but. That was it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was an interesting kind of, because we both were having our dads kind of like support us in that, especially after he told me after the fact that you were like, it was essentially he was texting you and stuff. I was like, man, it's kind of a cool. So it's almost, it's kind of like emulating like sports, like in a way, but in more wholesome, more wholesome.
Yes.
We're like sitting in our rooms gaming, and our dads are like on their phone, like waiting for like an update. Like, come on, what's happening? What's the score? But it's not actually like what people would think. Like, yeah, what game's going on? The Technoblade versus Dream duel. Man, I'm invested.
And you couldn't watch it anywhere because it was going live into Mr. Beast. I don't know how you say that, but Mr. Beast was sponsoring it and recording it and
put it on his channel.
It didn't come out until a while later. So I was walking around, and I and various other people were walking around
with like a swagger and a confidence, like
well, and also like
can't say anything, keep my mouth closed. Yeah, it was the same way, except for me, it was like, I told my closest friends and stuff what happened, and then it was like, yeah, okay, well, nobody knows. It was kind of just waiting to see, okay, what happens now? And I think it was, it didn't take that long until I was like, okay, that ended up being worth it, and I think it was only like a week until I was like, I would go back and lose that again. That sounds stupid. I would go back and I would let myself lose that.
Yeah.
Or not let myself, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it was.
Well, I'm sure Alex would go back and let himself win.
It'd make himself win. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, that was such a cool experience and everything. And it was the first. I think it was kind of both of our first like limelight outside of the Minecraft community on like a big scale where there was like everyone in the Minecraft community was kind of talking about it at the time, and so it was pretty big deal, I guess. Let's take a commercial break, guys. Donate. You gotta donate. And then also there's also a merch link, technoblade.com, in the description. And again, money goes to Techno's family and also to the Sarcoma Foundation and to fight cancer. So multiple ways to do it. And it's where you got these nice, cool, can you see it? Hoodies.
Yeah.
He's got a t-shirt on and there's a bunch of other stuff. So
I got this shirt.
It's he released death merch. It's like, I remember actually, this is kind of a funny story. We didn't talk about this. I remember when I saw that, I was like, that is at the same time, it was like such a sad moment, but it was also, I was like, that is the coolest, most Technoblade thing I think I have ever seen in my entire, like, if you had to just show me one picture and say, show me Technoblade, like who Technoblade is and what is a good description of it. So you just show me that merch page and it just has like, that would be a good indicator.
GG.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a sense of humor that guy has. Yeah. The whole, I mean, everyone in my family loves the joke about nobody took the news harder than my health insurance provider. And then the thing he says a couple of sentences later. I didn't know they cared so much. Yeah. The thing he says a couple of sentences later is like, they're the real victims here. It's just like, oh my goodness. Ha. Yeah. Wow. Well, I loved the thing your dad wrote, and it very much felt like that's the kind of dad that I have always aspired to be to you, and there's another one.
Guys, he's not pointing at you guys behind the camera, by the way. He's not saying he's your dad. He's just his kids.
There we are. Yes. They're all in about the same eye line. So
yeah. I think if it
elbow. Yeah. we were gonna talk about an elbow reveal at some point.
I was like, I gotta reveal like my elbow in honor of Techno. I'm so pale. Like, there you go. There's an elbow reveal. There we go.
Well, I did, I mean, the whole thing about, a face reveal, because of what you've been doing over the last week or two, is kind of on topic right now. And I did want to talk to you about that a little bit, because I'm thinking, one day I'm going to want to do a face reveal.
He made this joke before we were in there, and I called him an idiot, and he was like, "Oh, I just got called an idiot by Dream."
No, that's not where you called me an idiot.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, sorry. The one where I called him an idiot was worse. It was much worse. I didn't call him an idiot for that one.
What I said was,
but you are an idiot for that one.
What I said was, before we go any further, I just want to take a moment and thank our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by, you're ruining my delivery. Today's video is sponsored by cancer, without which this stream would not have happened. So, yes, that's when you called me an idiot. And I said,
it was idiotic.
I said, I have really arrived. I'm being insulted by top streamers.
Well, I don't know what top streamers. I don't stream that much, but no, I'll take it.
Well, top, I mean, I don't know. You got a couple of subs.
True. Only a couple.
How many? What's that?
Oh.
Yeah, no, we know that.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not what we're interested in.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, face reveal.
Face reveal.
Yeah, I would say it's been crazy. I was curious, so I asked before, but do you think that he would have, I guess, would you like to talk about him? What do you think he would have done? Do you think he would have done a face reveal? Do you think he would have stayed like faceless? I mean, obviously he's shown his face before, but I mean, like a proper.
Yeah, yeah, I do think he would have done a proper face reveal. You know, I mean, he had the joke going for years that he was going to do an elbow reveal at 10 million subs.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to 10 million subs, there was sort of more on our minds than an elbow reveal. Although he did say, you know, we went through a couple of months where the doctors were saying, you know, we're going to, it's hard to say those words. My mood is very up and jovial and so forth, but there's this whole thing right underneath it, and it's like the third rail. So just own it. We went through a couple of months where the doctors were saying, next step is to amputate the arm, and it was gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even like,
Yeah.
it was like the arm and the shoulder. I don't know. Is that even? I don't even know if I should. Well, anyway, it didn't happen. But and I think he made this joke on one of the videos. He said it was gonna be the most epic elbow reveal ever. He said we were gonna traumatize millions. And you know, you want to be. If I'd have thought more about myself and less about him, then there was a whole period there where every time I was in the room with him, I would have just been weeping copiously. But I didn't want to be. I didn't want that to be my influence on his life. So I was resolutely as positive as I could be without being fake, you know? And that, you know, broke down towards the end. But I really tried to keep it, all about love. I tried to keep it all about love. And so I got him a present. I feel joy at the pained look on your face right now. I got him a present ahead of nobody likes this story. Nobody likes this story. But I got to tell it now because
You committed.
I committed. Yeah. So too bad. I got him a present. I wanted to have something that I could give to him on the occasion of the surgery. And so I thought and thought about what would be good, and I wanted it to be something kind of valuable and special. And what I ended up getting him was a book. It was a rare first edition, first print, 1922 printing of Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms.
I was trying not to laugh, and it just didn't work. But.
Well, what are you going to do, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the human condition. There's a lot of it that hurts, you know? Yeah. And there's all this joy, and there's all this joy, and all this stuff that isn't joy. And it all happens, and it's going to happen anyway, so you might as well laugh. You might as well laugh and have some fun, and, you know? Yeah, I got him a book. Nobody liked that.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure. I think that.
Well, it lost its punch because, you know, we didn't actually. I haven't slept a lot the last couple of days. Let's talk about something else.
Minecraft Championship.
Minecraft Championship.
There we go. Minecraft Championship was pretty great.
Yeah.
Another time, obviously, we kind of being competitive, but then also we teamed up.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the end of the whole Dream and Techno arc of being rivals and being against each other, and we finally teamed up, and then we won the Minecraft Championship. So,
of course you did.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dream and Technoblade. That's what everyone's saying. And we were talking beforehand. We're like, I mean, it's not that unbalanced. Like they still. So, but yeah, I remember. I don't know. I think that was the first time where it was like we really started kind of becoming friends. I guess after that, like we were friends. We weren't like friends. It was very much just like we don't really talk. We've known each other. We've hung out some. Here and there, but we've been more rivals than friends, friendly rivals, but obviously there's frenemies.
In co-opetition.
Yeah. And then it shifted. He's like, I didn't get much sleep. I didn't get much sleep the last couple of days. I didn't either. I'm not being an idiot. So yeah, I don't know. I think that Minecraft Championship
that was epic.
Was epic.
Yeah.
It was. That was like genuinely. I think that because that was my first one. I got my first Minecraft Championship win with Techno on my team. So I guess he always had that. Was like, hey man, yeah, your first one. I had to help you get that one. So
I can't imagine that he would hold that over you.
No, he never said that or joked about that ever. I actually don't think he did, to be fair. But it sounds like something he would do. So it's kind of surprising.
It does.
But I don't think he did. Maybe he thought it'd be a sour spot. He'd be like, he didn't want to hurt my feelings. So, but no, I feel like, and that kind of progressed from there to like the Dream SMP and to, us doing a lot more like content together and even not, like off camera, hanging out more, and becoming better friends than before. So I think that was kind of the moment where it was like, hey, what if we teamed up? So we keep fighting each other. What if we just kind of squashed the beef and teamed up and of course. Minecraft Championship was great to let us do that, and even if it was a little powerful, I'll admit. But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite memories. Definitely is just that, just winning. And I feel like, and also neither of us like was really like the leader on the team. It was like we very much were working together, and I feel like also our fan bases before that had been much more like. Against each other.
Yes, there was a certain amount of antagonism between the fan bases.
Yeah, there was a little bit of animosity, especially after the duel.
Right.
And then in the days following the duel, which I actually don't remember if the Minecraft Championship was first or if the duel was first. I know before that there was still they were like right around the same time. I'm pretty sure. But I know that there was some animosity there, and I know that us actually doing content together and him joining the Dream SMP, which funnily enough, he was actually whitelisted for way longer than when he joined. Like he was able to join the server. Like I whitelisted him at some point. I don't remember when. It was like very early on in the server when there was not that many people on it. I think it was just like Tommy and.
No, I have to apologize because when you say Technoblade was whitelisted, that can mean several things in this particular case.
He was. There's like a list to get into the server. Like it's kind of like when you're going to a club and they're like, "Are you on the list?" And they're like, "No, you're not on the list." Okay, turn away. It's like from the very beginning, pretty much, he was always on that list. I think Tommy asked me. I'm not 100% sure, but at some point I just added him, and I was like, I think I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, you can join GSP." And like months went by, he never joined. And then at some point he just logged on. I was like, "All right, I'm on the SMP now." It's like, "All right, Techno." Of course, that's how that's classic.
Because he had a character named Whitelisted.
He had a what?
He had a character whose name, he had a character whose name was Technoblade, and then he had various other characters for when he didn't want to be
like recognized. Yeah.
But he also had a character whose name was Whitelisted.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that like is that new Techno lore or is that like hidden lore? I don't know.
It was.
Is that something he's talked about on like his channel before? Or is that just like?
Yeah, it was. It was actually long enough ago that I don't remember it that well, but there was some message for something where it said, why am I telling this story when I can't even remember more than a third of the details?
He had an account named Whitelisted.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
it was because the system would give you a message say you can't do
not.
this because you're not whitelisted, and then
I
it
am.
came in as, yeah, that was the joke. Yeah. I remember him saying to me, "Dad, I spent $50 on a one-liner," or whatever new account was.
Yeah, I think it was $26 or something.
What do I know? I'm an old person. I'm not like you young people. My back hurts. That's one thing that's been kind of wacky too. Is here I am. I just turned 60. Everyone. No, I was more thinking like everyone going like, oh. And so much of what I'm doing these days is talking to people in their early 20s about they play games online. This is probably where I should pull out the thing.
Pull out what thing?
I'm sorry. The thing my wife always says is, "Oh, you cracked yourself up again, huh?" When Alex was young, he was very early on the idea of talking to me about having, like, when it was still just a notion in his head, like when he was, 8 or something. He's like, play, I think probably Roblox or Team Fortress 2 is what he was talking about at that age, and YouTube channel, and it's a thing, that you can do. And I, like old people everywhere have always done in advising their children, I gave him the best advice I could, which is nobody is going to want to watch someone else play a video game. And so now I bestow that advice upon you.
Okay.
No one's going to want to watch you play a video game. You can just play the game yourself.
I know.
Anybody can just get the game and install it, and you just play it. Why would you watch someone else do something? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I said last night when you said that, I was like, well, it's just like sports. Like you want to watch like the professionals at something. Whether it's like the professionals at like being funny or being good or doing something that you just can't do in the game or whatever. But it was funny. I feel like that was a very common like sentiment with me growing up, even just posting dumb like Roblox videos or something. It was like, what? Who's gonna watch that? So you're just playing a video game. They can go play it themselves and get the actual experience. Especially like people that just do like Let's Plays or whatever, and they're literally just playing through like a campaign mode.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, you could just go do so. Yeah, but I want to see this guy do it.
Yeah. I had another way I used to tweak him. Again, when he was very young, something would happen. He'd be building something in Roblox or whatever for hours, and then maybe we'd have like a power failure, and he'd go, "Oh my gosh, Dad, I can't believe it. It's like I spent 3 hours doing blah, all of that work wasted." And I said, all of that play wasted.
He probably liked that one.
Oh yeah, he loved that. But I never wanted to be, I try to be, I'm a dad. I gotta tell dad jokes. It's required. And I need to, I need to give them, I need to challenge them a certain amount, as long as it stays good-natured, right?
Yeah.
As long as it stays good-natured and it's like, well, whatever. I don't think anybody wants to hear my parenting tips here. It's like, oh, maybe they do. I don't know nothing. New media.
So did you? Oh yeah. Wait, did we get sidetracked? So you said with the face reveal, we were talking about the face reveal. Did you say you think he would have done one, or you think he?
You're right. I kind of never went there. He definitely was talking about the elbow reveal, and it was a haha, only serious kind of a setup. It was like, it was a joke, but it was also clearly something he was on track to doing. And he talked to me from time to time about what circumstance, and this is, a couple of years ago, what circumstances would lead to a face reveal. And I don't think he had a clear plan. I think it was something he had thought about and you know, if he was going to do something like that, it, you know, was important to him that it be funny and memorable. And I feel like he never really quite got the. I feel like he never got the gimmick or the hook. That's a better way to say it. He never got the hook that would have made it work.
Yeah, in the way that he wanted.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure he would have gotten there eventually.
That's interesting to me. But I think that's something obviously that we had in common was us not showing ourselves and being private about, you know, aspects of us and everything. I think it's interesting. And obviously I expressed it before, but even with like him not being here to be a part of, you know, my big thing and something that I wanted to involve a lot of people in, and just knowing, you know, even going to San Diego and getting to meet a bunch of people, and just, I don't know, getting to come here and talk to you and talk to family, you know, makes me feel more like he's a part of it all.
Yeah. You know, for years.
Cry reveal.
I think everybody's seen me sad. But yeah, you know, he had that front bedroom, and he had this desk that was just terrible. I showed it to you, right? It was just
it's just like a crappy wooden desk.
It was it was like something you would have made in wood shop in high school, the first time you ever screwed two pieces of wood together. This terrible desk and a really nice chair. He had a really nice chair because, you know, I really screwed up on this one because he was like, you know, he had a chair that was about this level. He had like some lousy folding chair, and he's like, "Dad, I hate this chair." And I said, "Well, I got all kind of different kinds of chairs at the studio, and chairs are very personal and individual. So come down to the studio, and you can look through and just pick one chair out, and you can have any chair you want." So he came down to the studio. He went right into my office. He sat down on my chair. It was the only chair of that type that we had. I had spent so much time finding just the right chair for me, and that was the chair he picked out. So he had a good chair, a terrible desk, and he had a computer. You know, it was a good gaming computer. It was a very solid gaming computer. A mic that was like, and that was his whole.
It's obviously all he needed.
That was all that he ever.
He beat me in the duel in that setup. Come on.
Yeah, he was sitting at that desk.
I was in like my soundproof room with like a whole like shebang, and I got a desk all around me with like the top.
But it was, you know, so he was in that room, and it has that door that doesn't quite close ever, and the house has got, the acoustics in the house are not great. And I kept telling him, it's like, well, you know, I got sound stages. If you want a room that's designed for
yelling,
I have that. And he's like, that was about his response. So all of us would be there in the house, and it's, you know, sometimes it would happen like at 2 a.m. or something. But whenever he would, yes, the peanut gallery remembers, it would be 2 a.m. We're all trying to sleep, and through the door you would hear, "What? How could you do this? No, oh, he's coming this way," you know, and he just does this thing where the energy level just goes screaming and yelling. It's 2 a.m. and oh my Lord. But it was so annoying when it happened, and it was so awful when it stopped. There was a lot of years where he was in his room and I was in my room, and we communicated by texting. You know, I would send him a meme or whatever, and he would call me a nerd or whatever it was, and I'd hear him, and then I'd pop in and say, hey, you wanna watch Hunter x Hunter or whatever it was, and he couldn't, watch TV without eating. He always, and he couldn't eat without watching TV. Pretty much those things were linked. I kind of feel like I did something wrong somewhere when he was around 4 or 5.
I feel the same way. I'm always like wanting to watch a show. You have to get snacks, or at least even with YouTube, it's like go get my snack and then sit down and watch a YouTube video, like right away. So. Well,
I can tell you the first time I've had dinner at home without watching a TV show was last night, and the first time in a long time.
Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. I
shouldn't have given that away. Oh no, I'm in trouble now.
Wait, what?
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't know either.
But yeah, I really miss him a lot.
I think everyone does.
And I'll see something on Reddit and I'll go like, oh, that's perfect for, no, I can't get that to him. I'll start sending those to you now.
Don't say that. He'll start tweeting them out or something.
What was that word you used? Tweet?
Tweet, yeah. Oh, you don't know what a tweet is?
I know, I just don't.
You'll Reddit it out.
Yeah, that's much more reason.
No, you'll make a Reddit account, Technodad, and post Reddit posts.
I've come this close to doing that on a bunch of times. And by the way, hello, the Technoblade subreddit. Thank you guys. You're wonderful. I love you. And yeah, I read a lot of what you say. I read that stuff until I can't. I read that stuff until I can't take it anymore, and then I have to stop and go. Well, I won't talk about what subreddits I read.
Donate. There's a donate button. Sarcoma Foundation. Not enough donations ever. I mean, nothing's enough. They're right now, as we were saying earlier, the second leading cause of death, and not enough donations.
Can I tell the story about, I just like no names or anything, but I guess if I don't say any names, I can say that. But we have
Is it like a family thing?
You don't know? Is it okay? I don't know. We know another. We know a family, and they have had a boy who also had sarcoma. He lived to be 8. I derailed myself. I got water. Are you thirsty?
I will take some water.
So yeah, please,
One of my cousins died of cancer.
Yeah.
I think most people, know somebody that has been affected by cancer, and obviously I feel like the best we can do is show as much support and spread awareness. And if you can't donate, try and share the donation. Try and share the Sarcoma Foundation's website. Try and just spread the word about the signs and what else is good to spread for people who can't donate money or can't support in other ways? Is there any information that you'd like to say or words to spread?
I don't know. One of the things that's been crazy gratifying for me is how much, well, I knew that Techno had quite an audience. What I didn't understand, and I kind of still don't understand, is how it kind of seems like he really meant a lot to people in a way that has nothing to do with PvP or the funny jokes. The comment I saw so many times was people talking about how I feel like I should have this more articulate than I have available to me right now. I've seen so many people say that, you know, Technoblade got me through a hard time in my life. And I don't know, I'm so proud of him and humbled and grateful to everyone. And the fundraising that people have done on his behalf or in response or whatever has been really you know what I'm saying? And we heard the woman who's the executive director of the Sarcoma Foundation told us that they really hadn't seen anything like it before, and she told us a story about a kid who I don't know why this kills me. She told us, okay, hang on. She told us a story about a kid who a little kid who ran a lemonade stand and raised $150 over the course of however long he ran the lemonade stand, and then sent it all to the Sarcoma Foundation because of Technoblade. And yeah.
I didn't think that's where that was going.
Yeah. So you're ahead like 4-0 on the call to action there, so I should say something. I really feel like if we do the call to action 10 times, I should get in 6 of them. I'm so awful.
We know where you got his humor from. So.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all the folks behind the camera right now. And we started up the stream and we went through I think I counted 97 screens of input before you can get your stream ready to go.
Yeah.
And we went through it all, and then we're trying to, it's like, is it up? Can people see it yet? And I went over to my laptop, and the chat was running, and it was like 10,000 people saying '07. And I was like, that was hitting me. And then there was one where somebody typed something in and he said, you know, Techno's dad, I don't know if you're going to see this, but I don't remember the words he said, but yeah, I did see it, and I've seen 10,000 other messages that you guys have sent, even though I'm not really answering anywhere right now. But
Thank you.
thank you.
I think that that's kind of the main point of this. It's kind of like a thank you to Techno and thank you to...
I remember what he said. He said, and also I sell pants now for some reason. I'm supposed to say something about the merch, and I can't remember what it was. I could pull up the email, but we've got new stuff coming out, and no,
Technoblade still outsells me through death.
I'm not going to read off of my email, but there's been a refresh today of the merch store. I'll tell you one thing that Techno really didn't love is how much of a delay there is in getting stuff that people ordered. So we're moving back towards you can't order it unless it's in stock. Everything is, yeah, and you can get notified. I don't have my ducks in a row.
Technoblade.com.
Technoblade.com. I didn't even say the name of the URL.
It's merchandise, and part of the proceeds go to the Sarcoma Foundation and also to Techno's family. Yeah. I feel like that's probably, this was a great, I don't know, I feel like we got a lot of stories in there. We got hopefully a lot of money raised. And if not, you guys better, right now, you only have not too long until we walk over there and we go around the camera and we'll see what you've done. We'll see what you've done.
Yeah.
But
there's like 5 people watching the stream.
No, this whole time it's messed up. They don't understand streaming. They don't know what's happening. We don't even know if it's going live. We're gonna walk over there and be like, "Man, that was great."
Start streaming. Yes, no. Okay, cancel.
We'll say confirm go live. But yeah, I think that really the whole point of this is you know, a thank you to you guys for all the support, you know, you've shown to Techno's family and to Techno and to cancer research and to raising money for the Sarcoma Foundation, and then also a thank you back, at least from me, to, I guess, you for, you know, raising Techno and putting him into my life and across my path, and to, you know, thank you from everyone else to Techno for being who he was and who he is, and I think that's probably the best way that we can end it. Maybe we end it with a hug.
Yeah, man. Let's bump our heads on the mic and then cut off out of frame there. I can't see your head anymore.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, I'm hitting the mic. Well, I guess to end it off, I'm going to be signing a couple merchandise of, I think it's unreleased, or it's never going to be released.
Yes.
It's never going to be released. It's just a merch concept I think that Techno worked on. I'm going to sign some of them while I'm here, and they'll just include it as like an extra or something in some orders at some point. So that's as well. But yeah, Technoblade.com and the donate button, and raise money. And this is not the end of, you know, raising money for, like, through us and other streamers and other YouTubers and friends of Techno and you know, everything. So there'll be more things to come, and I'm always down to be involved, as I've expressed to you. And
Hey, let me take this opportunity from me and my family to say thank you to you, because nobody knows this, but I guess I'm not going to go into specifics, but I will say that I really appreciated everything that you did for us. You know what I'm talking about.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I gotta say Skeppy's name again, because I love that guy. And so more stuff with more people coming.
Mm-hmm. I would hope get everyone together and do a massive fundraiser, like games, and
That would just be a dream.
all right, I'm gonna go turn off this.
All righty, that's enough. Thank you very much. Have a look at my butt.
Donate.